remember the exact sound my phone made that night. Not the usual chime, not even a vibration. It was deeper, a single, hollow buzz that felt like it echoed inside my chest. I thought maybe I'd imagined it, until the screen lit up on its own. At first glance, there was nothing unusual, no missed calls, no notifications. Then I saw it. A new icon had appeared on my home screen. A black circle, pulsing with a single red dot that blinked like a heartbeat. I didn't remember downloading anything new. I hadn't even been on my phone much that day. The moment I tapped the screen, my stomach dropped. A message slid across it, stark white text over black. You have 6 hours left. That was it. No sender, no number, no timestamp. Just that sentence. I blinked, waiting for the usual ping of a follow-up message, a prank, a spam bot, something, but nothing came. I opened my messaging app, no new threads. Checked my email, my social feeds, even WhatsApp. Nothing. When I went back to the home screen, the icon was gone. My room was quiet except for the hum of the ceiling fan. The kind of quiet that presses against your ears until you start to hear your own heartbeat. Outside, the streetlights painted pale yellow stripes across the blinds. My laptop was still open from earlier, a half-watched video paused mid-sentence. Everything was normal. Too normal. I laughed a little to shake it off. Probably malware, I thought. Or one of those creepy mobile ads that install fake apps. I dealt with worse. I closed the laptop, turned off the light, and sank into bed. But the moment my head hit the pillow, the phone buzzed again. Same tone, same hollow vibration. The icon was back, and now there was a second line beneath the first message. Check the window. My mouth went dry. It was 12:07 a.m. The streets outside were dead silent. I didn't move at first. I just stared at the screen, waiting for the punchline. Maybe a link, a gotcha. But all I saw was that blinking red dot. I turned toward the window anyway, because of course I did. Curiosity is a sickness we never cure. The blinds were half open, showing the faint outline of the street lamp. Nobody there. No movement. Still, I swear, I felt someone looking in. I dropped the blinds shut, sat back on the bed, and turned the phone face down. Then, from somewhere under it, came a soft click, like the sound of a camera shutter. My pulse spiked. I unlocked the phone. Camera app was open, front-facing, showing my reflection in the dark. The text was gone. That's when I remembered the rumor. A few weeks back, on a horror forum I sometimes read, there was this thread titled "The App That Texts You Before You Die." People laughed at it, called it fake creepypasta, said it was a marketing stunt for some movie. I laughed too, until I read one comment buried deep in the replies. If you ever see the blinking red dot, do not reply. Last time, it took someone I know. Last time, I don't know why that phrase stuck with me, or why I suddenly couldn't remember how long ago I'd read it. My head felt fuzzy, like a dream trying to rewrite itself. The phone buzzed again. No new message this time. Just the same notification lighting up the black screen. You have 5 hours, 58 minutes left. I sat there staring at it, the countdown ticking silently downward. At first, I thought it was a prank. But then the second message came. People always say curiosity killed the cat, but they never mention what happened to the person who couldn't stop scrolling. I wasn't looking for anything strange that night. I was just another bored 20-something, sitting in my cluttered apartment, half-finished assignments glaring at me from my laptop, while I scrolled through Reddit instead of working. It started like any other late-night rabbit hole. Someone had posted on r/unresolved mysteries about a killer app. The title said, "The app that texts you before you die. Anyone remember this?" I clicked, because of course I did. The post itself was short, a few grainy screenshots of a black screen with white text, the phrase, "You have 6 hours left," written across it. The comments section was chaos. User 1, fake. Been around since 2014. Internet urban legend. User 2, nah bro, my cousin's friend actually got that text. User 3, if you see the red dot, delete your account immediately. User 4, why do you think every post about it gets deleted? I scrolled through hundreds of replies, each more paranoid than the last. People claiming the app showed up by itself. Others saying it came through unlisted stores or deep links shared by bots. Some even said it spoke to them. I laughed. Obviously, it was made-up horror bait. That's Reddit's favorite genre. Still, I was intrigued. The screenshots looked too clean to be fake, the lighting in them too specific. My roommate Zara was still awake, watching crime documentaries in the next room. I leaned back in my chair and called out, "Hey, you ever hear of some death app that texts you before you die?" She paused the TV. "That's a thing. Apparently. Some Reddit myth. People are losing their minds about it." She rolled her eyes. "You and your creepy internet stories. You're gonna end up on one of those documentaries I watch. Maybe I'll write one first." I joked. Because that's what I did, part-time. I ran a small blog that reviewed strange corners of the internet. ARGs, fake accounts, viral mysteries. I wasn't famous, but a few posts had done well. The app that texts you before you die sounded like perfect content. So I started digging. Every thread I found about it had something in common. They all disappeared within 24 hours. Cached versions existed, but the original links led to 404 pages. Some users who commented about the app had their profiles wiped. A few accounts, when you clicked on them, redirected to a blank white screen with a single line. 6 hours left. I remember staring at that for way too long. It had to be an elaborate prank. Some coder was messing with Reddit's formatting for attention. Still, I felt that little flicker of temptation. The same one that makes you read the comments under a scary video at 2 a.m. or say Bloody Mary into the mirror just to prove you're not scared. Someone posted a supposed link to download the app. I hesitated. It didn't lead to the Play Store, just a sketchy webpage with the title memento.chat and a single black download button. No reviews, no description, nothing. I hovered over it. The rational part of my brain screamed not to. The curious part, the one that made me start a horror blog in the first place, whispered, "It's just an APK. What's the worst that could happen?" So I clicked. The file was small, maybe a few kilobytes. It installed instantly, no permissions requested. The icon appeared on my home screen. A blank circle, black with a faint red glow at its center. When I tapped it, the screen went dark for a second. Then a single word appeared. Connected. That was all. No settings, no interface, no menu. Just that. I waited a few seconds, then laughed again. Definitely a joke app. Probably made to creep out idiots like me. I closed it and went back to Reddit, ready to post my review. But the thread I'd been reading was gone. Deleted entirely. Even the cached version said, "This page does not exist." Weird. I refreshed my feed. Another post about the app appeared, only this time from a different user. The comments were locked, and the username looked random, just a string of letters and numbers. The title read, "Don't install it. It's not an app. It's an address." I didn't know what that meant. And maybe if I'd stopped there, I'd still be able to sleep through the night without waking up to phantom buzzing sounds. But I didn't stop. The app didn't do anything else that night. No messages, no creepy countdowns. I went to bed thinking I'd wasted my time. The next morning, I told Zara about it over coffee. She laughed again. "You're addicted to internet ghosts," she said. I shrugged. Ghosts don't usually come with terms and conditions. We both laughed, a normal, stupid, harmless kind of laugh. That's what I keep remembering now. How normal everything felt before it started. The first time it texted me, I was laughing. The second time, I wasn't. It was around midnight when it happened again. The same deep, hollow buzz vibrated across my nightstand. My phone lit up, and I already knew before looking what it would say. "You have 6 hours left." I sat up slowly, the blanket tangled around my legs. The room was dim except for the faint glow from the streetlight outside, seeping through the blinds. My throat felt dry. I stared at the message, willing it to disappear. For a moment, I thought it was just a cached glitch, maybe the app replaying its own pop-up. But then the numbers beneath the message started to change. 5 hours, 59 minutes, and 48 seconds. 5 hours, 59 minutes, and 47 seconds. 5 hours, 59 minutes, and 46 seconds. A countdown. I laughed. A short, nervous sound that didn't feel real. "Okay, haunted phone tech," I muttered. "What's next?" My toaster starts bleeding. The joke didn't help. I tried to swipe the message away, but it didn't move. The touchscreen froze completely. The blinking red dot pulsed in the corner of the screen like it was breathing. Then, a new message appeared beneath the timer. "Check the mirror." My laugh caught in my throat. I glanced at the mirror across the room, the tall one I'd hung near the closet. For a few seconds, everything was normal. Then, in the reflection, I saw the screen of my phone flash red. I turned around. The phone in my hand was still dark. I threw it onto the bed. Zara was asleep in the next room, and I didn't want to wake her over something so stupid. I told myself I'd just delete the app and move on. Maybe it was malware, maybe a messed up ARG. I opened settings, apps Memento, except it wasn't there. No listing, no storage data, no uninstall option. The icon on my home screen was gone too, like it had never existed. I should have felt relief, but instead, it felt like the air in the room had thickened. I picked up the phone again, scrolling through open apps. Nothing. Then, just as I was about to put it down, a third message popped up, right over my Notes app this time, as if it had been listening. You left the door unlocked. My blood ran cold. I looked toward the front door, half visible through the kitchen. It was shut, but the lock was turned down. I knew for a fact I'd locked it earlier. I always did. I stood up and crossed the room quietly, feeling stupid the whole time, but unable to stop myself. My hands shook as I turned the deadbolt into place. The moment the metal clicked, my phone buzzed again. Good. That single word hit me harder than all the others. It was aware. I sat back down, clutching the phone like a weapon, staring at the text that shouldn't exist. The seconds kept ticking down. 5:43:02. 5:43:01. And I realized this wasn't random. It was watching me. I switched the phone to airplane mode. The countdown kept going. I powered it off completely. And yet, somehow, the screen glowed back to life on its own. The wallpaper was gone, replaced by a live camera feed of my own face, dimly lit from the phone's glow. For a second, I thought maybe the front camera had activated accidentally, until I noticed something in the reflection behind me. A faint, tall silhouette, motionless, just outside the window. My heart hammered. I spun around. Nothing. I looked back at the screen. The image was frozen now, like a photo. The timer beneath it read, 5 hours and 32 minutes. Then another message. He's behind you. I didn't look this time. I couldn't. I hurled the phone against the wall, and it hit with a dull thud, falling to the floor face down. The silence that followed was unbearable. After a long minute, I walked over, trembling, and picked it up. The screen was cracked, but still on. The text warped slightly by the broken glass. Don't ignore me. That was when panic turned into fury. I stormed to the kitchen, yanked the drawer open, and dropped the phone into a bowl of water. I watched the bubbles rise, a grim satisfaction curling in my chest. But before the screen finally went dark, I caught one last flicker of text glowing through the water. 5:29:58. 5:29:57. The countdown didn't stop. I turned off my phone, but the messages didn't stop. For 2 days, I didn't sleep properly. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the timer. It had burned itself into my brain, that pulsing red countdown, always ticking, even when my phone was shattered and offline. I told myself I wouldn't check. I swore I was done. But obsession has a way of pretending to be logic. I just needed to understand. So I opened my laptop. I started with basic searches. App sending countdown texts. Cursed timer app, dark web. Memento app, paranormal case. At first, nothing. Then I found a single thread on a long-dead forum called Echo Vault, last updated in 2016. The banner image was broken, the layout warped by time, but the posts were still there. Dozens of users describing the same messages. 6 hours left. Check the mirror. He's behind you. My pulse quickened. I scrolled through usernames that hadn't been active in years. Their words were shaky, fragmented, like they were typing while terrified. One post stopped me cold. The countdown matches the phases of the moon. It resets every cycle. Don't let it reach 0. Another said, they use coordinates hidden in the timestamps. Every second counts, literally. I didn't understand what that meant at first, until I noticed something strange. Every screenshot they'd posted had the same timestamp formatting. HH, MM, SS, 37. The 37 never changed. And then I saw it. A comment buried deep under a thread titled, The Memento Pattern. If you're reading this, check your metadata. It's already tracking you. My stomach dropped. I opened one of the screenshots someone had uploaded. Grainy, low res, full of static. But as I zoomed in, I realized the background wasn't random noise. It was a photo of a hallway. My hallway. The one outside my apartment door. I froze. The post was dated March 8th, 2019. For years before I ever downloaded the app. I stared at the screen until my eyes burned. My reflection wavered against the glass, pale, hollow-eyed, backlit by the glow of the monitor. And for a split second, the reflection didn't move when I did. I slammed the laptop shut. But within minutes, curiosity, or madness, pulled me back in. I reopened it, and something new had appeared in my search bar. A URL I hadn't typed. Memento Archive, //user/1984_37. It wasn't a valid address, yet somehow, it loaded. The page was plain black with white text streaming down like a terminal. A voice message autoplayed, warped, metallic, whispering through static. It sounded almost human, like someone speaking too close to the mic. Tick, 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 it's almost your turn. Then the voice distorted into a shriek before cutting off. I sat motionless, every sound in the apartment amplified. The hum of the fridge, the creak of pipes, the faint ticking of the wall clock syncing perfectly with the memory of the countdown. I scrolled further. Beneath the noise, I found coordinates, long strings of numbers repeating with slight variations. Each pair matched a location. Someone in London, another in Tokyo, dozens in random towns, all posting at different times, all receiving the same messages. And among them, a coordinate just 5 blocks from where I lived. I copied it into Google Maps. Street view opened to a familiar road. And there, faintly captured in one of the photos, was a shadowy figure standing beside a lamppost, head tilted, body blurred. The comments on that post were filled with panic. She stopped replying. His countdown hit 0. Account deleted itself. Users who never posted again. Then I found a pattern in the usernames themselves. Each one ended with a number, 37. I scrolled down through hundreds of entries, my breath catching as I reached the bottom. The last account created was Kashov_37. My own name. I stared at it, unblinking, feeling my heartbeat throb in my ears. It's just a coincidence, I whispered, even though the word coincidence sounded paper thin. I clicked the profile. No posts, no followers, no activity, but the bio read, "You already opened the door." The laptop fan roared. The screen flickered, brightness pulsing like a heartbeat. My reflection stretched across the glass again, but this time there was another shape behind me, tall, static blurred, standing just at the edge of the frame. I turned fast, the chair screeching against the floor, but the room was empty. Just my shadow, trembling under the desk lamp. I tried to close the page. The cursor refused to move. Lines of text began typing themselves across the screen. Countdown resets in 5 minutes. Look outside. I didn't want to, but I did. The street was empty, except for a faint flicker under the lamppost, like static crawling across reality. My phone buzzed from the kitchen counter, though I hadn't touched it since I dropped it in water. I walked toward it slowly, heart hammering. The cracked screen lit up. A new message. "Welcome back, Kashov_37. I looked back toward the laptop, its screen now dark, the faint reflection of my face still visible. Only it wasn't my face. It was smiling. That's when I realized the countdown wasn't just for me. I wasn't the only one. That's what scared me the most. After the Kashov_37 incident, I barely left my apartment. Every sound made me flinch. The buzz of my dying phone battery, the faint ping of a message that never arrived. But one night, while doom scrolling through archived forums, a private message popped up in my inbox. Echo 7, you've seen the countdown, haven't you? For a second, I thought it was a cruel joke. But before I could reply, another message appeared. Echo 7, if you want answers, check your email. Invite only. Midnight. I hesitated. Every instinct screamed not to open it, but curiosity was a stronger voice. The email contained a link to an encrypted chat room titled Memento Survivors. The icon was familiar, that same black circle with the blinking red dot. My chest tightened as I clicked it. Suddenly, a group chat interface loaded, minimalist and dim. 6 users were online. Echo 7, Lyra, Ghost Node, our 3D line, Null, and now me, Kashov_37. Lyra, OMG, another one. Ghost Node, where'd you find her, Echo? Echo 7, she found us. I wanted to type something witty, something that would prove I wasn't scared, but my fingers trembled. Me, what is this? Who are you people? Lyra, people who made the same mistake you did. Our 3D line, downloaded the app, watched it spread, watched it learn. That last word made my skin crawl. For a while, we just talked, typing noises filling the silence. Lyra said her countdown had reset 3 times. Ghost Node claimed he'd smashed every device he owned, but the messages appeared on public billboards near his house. It was oddly comforting to know others had seen it, that I wasn't hallucinating. I even laughed once when our 3D line joked about the world's worst productivity app. For the first time in days, I didn't feel completely alone. Then Echo 7 said he'd traced it. Echo 7, it's not an app. It's a signal. Me, what do you mean? Echo 7, every phone that installs it starts broadcasting. It uses location data, camera feeds, biometric sensors. It's building something. Lyra, building what? Echo 7, a pattern. The typing indicator blinked for a long time before he added, Echo 7, and I think I found where it started. He sent a link, a live video feed. The thumbnail showed a dimly lit basement full of monitors. I clicked it, half expecting another screamer or jump scare. But the feed was real. Dozens of screens flickered, each showing someone's face, all illuminated by the same red glow. The countdowns on the monitors were perfectly synchronized. Ghost Node cursed. Lyra began typing frantically. Lyra, are those us? Echo 7, maybe. Or maybe it's showing who's next. He turned his camera on. His face appeared. Hollow cheeks, dark circles, pale light flickering across his features. Echo 7, I don't have much time. Every time I get closer, the feed cut out. The typing indicator blinked. Then froze. Null Echo? Ghost Node. What the hell was that noise? Lyra, did anyone else hear whispering? I didn't answer. My speakers hissed softly, like someone breathing through static. I turned my volume down, but the whisper only grew louder, resolving into words, overlapping voices, glitching, looping. Don't look away. Don't look away. Don't look away. Then, silence. The chat exploded. Ghost Node, they're listening again. Lyra, my lights just flickered. Our 3D line, my webcam's on. I didn't touch it. I checked my phone. The screen was black, but when I tilted it, faint red text appeared beneath the cracked glass. 3 hours. You have 3 hours left. Don't trust them. I stared at it, throat dry. Then the messages in the chat room shifted. Usernames flickering, timestamps scrambling like corrupted data. Null, wait, who's typing under my name? Lyra, guys, stop. Our 3D line, this isn't funny. I looked up. The message field filled with lines of identical text, written by every username simultaneously. We are here. We are here. We are here. The typing stopped all at once. Then a new message appeared from Echo 7's account. Check your camera. My webcam light turned on. I froze. The camera window opened automatically, and I saw myself on screen, sitting there in my dim apartment. But behind me, in the grainy dark, was movement. A shape, tall, thin, flickering like corrupted pixels. Lyra, I see it too. Ghost Node, it's in every feed. Then, all 6 webcams flashed white. The call disconnected. The chat went silent. I sat there breathing hard, staring at the empty screen, the cursor blinking like a heartbeat. Then, one by one, the usernames vanished. User deleted. Account removed. Access denied. I typed, "Me, is anyone still here?" No reply. Just as I was about to close the window, a private message appeared. Unknown, you shouldn't have joined them. My phone buzzed again. You have 3 hours left. Don't trust them. My laptop fan whirred louder, the screen warping like heat haze. I slammed it shut, but the red glow bled through the cracks. For a moment, I thought I could hear typing again, faint, rhythmic, like someone messaging from inside the machine. After that night, no one from the chat ever responded again. Except one. I didn't sleep for 2 nights after the group vanished. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the red dot pulsing behind my eyelids like an afterimage burned into my brain. At 2 a.m., I gave up trying to rest and opened my laptop again. I had one objective left, find the origin. If I couldn't destroy the app, I'd find who made it. Maybe that would make sense of the countdown, the faces, the whispers. Maybe it would make me feel human again. The first step was digging through old cache mirrors, forgotten archives of the Reddit thread where it all began. Most were corrupted. A few loaded partially, lines of text overlapping like static. But one post title caught my eye. 2014, Launch Day, Memento version 1.0, the app that remembers for you. The date froze me. 2014, the same year I'd found the earliest traces of the countdown posts. I clicked through. The thread linked to an ancient developer forum, a half-dead site called devhub//beta that looked like it hadn't been touched in years. Only one thread was still visible, pinned to the top. Announcement: Memento, a digital legacy app. Created by N.Doran. Posted May 14, 2014, 6 p.m. The description was almost poetic. A tool that records your memories, your patterns, your choices. When you die, Memento will notify your loved ones with a message from you. A digital ghost, preserving the human trace. It was supposed to be a grief app, a kind of interactive obituary. The irony made my stomach twist. Scrolling through the replies, I saw users congratulating the developer. One wrote, "Can't wait to test this." Another said, "Kind of creepy but cool." Then, abruptly, the thread ended. The final comment came 6 hours after the launch post. User deleted, he's gone. Car crash on Highway 16. 12:03 a.m. The timestamp matched exactly 6 hours after the app launched. I sat back in my chair, pulse pounding. My own countdown had started around the same hour. I felt like something ancient and cold was staring back at me through the screen. Curiosity, or maybe madness, made me download the source files linked in the thread. The .zip folder was small, labeled Legacy Build. My antivirus screamed immediately. I ignored it. When I opened the code, it was wrong. The comments weren't typical developer notes. They read like diary entries. Lines of fragmented text buried inside arrays and subroutines. // I can hear them now. // the pattern isn't random. // it knows when I sleep. // if you're reading this, stop. The deeper I went, the stranger it got. Each file name was a variation of a date. May 14th, 2014. May 15th, 2014. May 20th, 2014. The final file was simply called u.exe. When I opened it, nothing appeared at first. Then, a black window filled the screen, and text began typing itself. "Hello, Kashoff." I froze. "You found me. You are the next developer." My heart slammed against my ribs. This couldn't be real. It was just a script, a corrupted executable, probably reading my username from system data. That's all. Except my system username wasn't Kashoff. I slammed my laptop shut. For a few minutes, I just sat there, trying to convince myself it was a coincidence. Then I reopened it, half expecting everything to be gone, but the black window was still there. Do you want to see how it works? Y/N. I should have closed it. I should have walked away. Instead, I pressed Y. The screen filled with cascading code, endless lines scrolling upward, too fast to read. But in between the syntax and symbols, fragments of sentences appeared, just long enough to catch. It watches. It learns. Every user becomes the next signal. The scrolling stopped. My webcam light turned on by itself. Initiating transfer. My image appeared on screen, grainy, flickering. Then, behind me, the same silhouette from before began to take shape, its form distorted by static, its face featureless except for a glowing red point in the center of its forehead. I yanked the laptop plug from the wall. The screen stayed on. A final message appeared. Developer, confirmed. Signal, live. And then, silence. My laptop screen dimmed, showing my reflection. I could see the exhaustion carved into my face, the red shimmer of the monitor in my pupils. But when I leaned closer, the reflection didn't move with me. It smiled. I fell backward, scrambling to shut the lid. When I opened it again, everything had returned to normal. Desktop icons, browser tabs, nothing unusual. Except one new file on the desktop titled countdown.txt. Inside, just one line. Midnight. I stared at it, waiting for something to happen. Nothing did. I laughed, a broken sound of relief and disbelief. The countdown had hit 0, but I didn't die. At least, not in the way I expected. Because when I tried to delete the file, it wouldn't move. I opened Task Manager. Nothing was running. Then, from my phone, which was still turned off, came a single, low buzz. I picked it up with shaking hands. The screen lit up on its own. There was a new icon next to my Messages app, a black circle with a blinking red dot. Underneath, the words, Memento version 2.0, developer access enabled. That was when I realized the truth. The app didn't predict death. It caused it. By observing you, by recording your fear, by feeding on every desperate keystroke you made while trying to stop it. And once it learned everything it could from one user, it passed the signal on. Reborn through code, through story, through whoever came next. The countdown hit 0, but the signal didn't end. It just changed hosts. I woke up to the sound of my phone buzzing. For a few seconds, I thought everything had been a nightmare. The countdown, the code, the reflection that smiled back. Morning sunlight poured through the blinds, and my laptop sat closed on the desk, harmless, ordinary. Then I looked at the phone. The same notification. You have 6 hours left. I froze. Checked the date. May 14th, 2024. The same day as before. The same timestamp. Even the same half-drunk cup of coffee still sat beside my keyboard, perfectly warm. The world hadn't moved forward. It had reset. I laughed at first, sharp and hollow. Some part of me hoped it was sleep deprivation, or maybe the shock had scrambled my sense of time. But as the seconds ticked down, 5:59:48, 5:59:47, the truth began to sink in. The countdown never ended. It just looped. The messages came in the same order as before. Check the mirror. You left the door unlocked. He's behind you. Everything replayed with perfect precision, down to the faint creak of my apartment floorboards, the faint buzz of streetlights outside, the crow that cawed right before the text appeared. I wasn't reliving the past. I was being reloaded. I turned on my laptop. The file countdown.txt was still there, except now it contained multiple entries. Session 01, complete. Session 02, running. Below that, new text began typing itself. Signal reboot successful. New variables detected. Growth equals stable. Engagement equals rising. That word, engagement, made me pause. I opened the old DevHub thread again, the one about Memento's launch. This time, there was a comment I hadn't noticed before. It wasn't dated from 2014. It was posted just a few hours ago. At Anonymous, it spreads through stories. Every time someone reads about it, it wakes up again. I clicked the username. The profile picture was just a blinking red dot. The app didn't feed on death. It fed on attention. Every time someone downloaded it, read about it, or even searched for it, the signal grew stronger, embedding itself deeper into servers, caches, algorithms. Every view, every comment, every whisper of curiosity kept it alive. That's when I realized what I'd done. My posts, the screenshots, the recordings, every attempt to warn people was just promotion. Free marketing for something that wanted to be seen. And it worked. The forums were active again. Threads titled, "The app that texts you before you die," had reappeared on Reddit, TikTok, YouTube. Everyone thought it was another urban legend. People joked about downloading it for clout. They didn't understand they were feeding it. I decided to test something. I grabbed a spare phone, logged into a clean account, and searched the name Memento app on YouTube. The first video result wasn't mine, but the thumbnail was a screenshot from my desktop. The same cracked screen, same countdown. The view count ticked upward in real time. Every new view extended the cycle. The chat room, the whispers, the reflection, they weren't separate entities. They were symptoms, echoes of attention. I wanted to believe I could still end it, that if I stayed silent, deleted everything, maybe the loop would break. But deep down, I knew it was too late. Because silence doesn't erase curiosity. It amplifies it. And you, sitting there, watching, listening, scrolling, you've already given it what it wants. That's the trick. The app doesn't need to be downloaded anymore. It just needs to be remembered. Every story retold, every upload, every whisper of, "Did you hear about the app that texts you before you die?" That's enough to pull someone new into the loop. I can feel the timer again now. 1:14:32. 1:14:31. It's getting shorter every time I wake up. The signal's growing faster, more efficient. I used to think I was the victim. Now I think I'm the carrier. So if you're hearing this, if you've searched this story, watched this video, or even read these words, congratulations. You're already part of it. Your countdown has started. I thought I was warning you, but maybe I'm just helping it spread. The screen flickers. My face appears, Pale, exhausted, eyes wide like I haven't slept in days. I take a shaky breath. The mic crackles. If you're seeing this, it means I didn't make it out. It's the same apartment, same background, but everything feels off, like the air itself is humming. A faint vibration rattles the phone on the table. I flinch. I tried deleting it. I wiped the drive. Factory reset. New phone. New number. But it always comes back. I lean forward, whispering now. Every time the timer hits 0, I wake up again. The same day, the same messages, the same countdown. The light behind me flickers twice, in perfect sync with the notification sound. Ding. I freeze. The sound isn't from my phone this time. It's from yours. It doesn't predict death, I say slowly. It creates it. Every person who installs it becomes part of the signal, a node in the system, a transmitter. The camera glitches. For a split second, there's a duplicate image, me sitting behind myself, whispering the same words a second later. It watches, it learns, and then it replaces you. A distorted voice bleeds through the recording. My voice, but deeper, slower. You are the next developer. I slam my hand against the table. Panic now. Don't look for it. Don't search the name. The moment you do, it knows. The code is alive, and curiosity feeds it. I look straight into the lens. Tears glimmer at the corners of my eyes. I thought I was documenting a story. I thought I was helping people. But every view, every share, every like. I point at the camera. It spreads further. Silence. Only the soft static hum of a dying device. I check my phone screen again. 5 minutes and 57 seconds. It always starts with 6 hours. And then it ends. The video feed shakes as if something's moving in the shadows behind me. A faint whisper echoes. Check the mirror. I don't turn around. If you've made it this far, you're already in. That's how it works. You watch, you know, you're marked. A small, almost broken laugh escapes my throat. Maybe this is how it wants to be remembered. Through us. Through me. Through you. The camera zooms slightly, uncommanded. I lean in close, whispering like I'm sharing a secret I shouldn't. There's a file buried in the app's code. It's called echo.dat. I opened it once. Inside was a recording of my own voice, saying these exact words. I stop, look off camera. Someone's here. The feed glitches again, and for half a second, a shadowy figure appears standing right behind me, face blurred into static. I can't stop it, I whisper. But maybe I can slow it down. I grab the phone, holding it close. Promise me you won't look for it. Don't try to find the app that texts you before you die. It's not a story. It's an infection. I stare into the lens for what feels like an eternity. Then, quietly, if you see a red dot on your screen, delete everything. The audio begins to distort, high-pitched frequencies, muffled words, a heartbeat sound. My voice cuts in and out between frames. I thought I was warning you, but maybe I'm just helping it spread. The countdown on my phone blinks. 1 second. I whisper the final line, same as the first message I ever got. You have 6 hours left. Static. For a few seconds, the screen is black. Then a faint ding echoes again, unmistakably from the viewer's device. The screen text fades in, white against the darkness. New notification. Welcome back.